I don't know how many of you have heard of reverse drury, reverse two-way drury, and all this stuff. Let me explain before we get started. Reverse drury just means that the way the opening bidder responds is reversed from the original meaning. Original drury was, if I had a good opening hand, I rebid my suit. That is no longer the case, because if you have a light opening, you want to stop at 2 of your suit, if at all possible. So you don't want to bid another suit. You just want to rebid that original suit and say, not today, partner. I'm pretty light over here. So people decided that the original way that drury was devised wasn't really the best way to do it. So they now call this reverse drury. And it just means that they have reversed openers' rebid responses. So what does drury mean anyway? Well, you're sitting in the first seat. You pick up a hand that's almost good enough to open, but just isn't. You can't bring yourself to do it. Maybe it's got 4-3-3-3 distribution, or maybe it's aceless, or maybe it's 11 points of trash, that kind of thing. In other words, you have no tricks in your hand. So you pass. See what happens. Next person passes, and now your partner opens one of a major in the third seat. Since you were sitting in the first seat, he'd be sitting in the third seat. I have support. Hey, yippee. And I had this hand that was almost good enough to open. If you don't play reverse drury, what you're going to end up doing is jumping. If you have 4-card support and you're not paying attention so that you realize that, hey, partner's in the third seat, and you just bid 3 of his major suit, if he opened on light, by light, I don't mean 11 points. I mean 8 or 9. That's okay in the third seat, particularly when you're not vulnerable and the opponents are. And if I have spades, I want to open spades every time I can. Before I bid 3 spades, I need to stop and think for a minute. Could my partner have opened light over there? Uh-oh. What if he's opened light? If I jump to 3, we could be in the soup. But if I bid only 2 and he has a full opener, we might miss a game. What to do? What to do? I don't know what to do. Well, you have one option. You can look at your partner across the table and say, hey, partner, did you open light? And then the opponents will stick their hands in the air and yell for the director, and you'll be in serious trouble. So that's not an option. Well, you have a bid that is seldom used in this situation. So when there's an unused bid, somebody's going to come up with a convention for it, right? This is generally what happens. Now, remember, you passed originally. That means that you can't force. So unless you have some kind of bid that forces your partner to bid again, you have to think carefully before you rebid. Since you've passed, if you have 11 points and a singleton, maybe, hey, my hand's worth an opening hand. I'm going to bid Jacoby 2 no trump. No good. You passed originally. 2 no trump no longer means I have 4-card support and an opening hand and it's balanced and let's get to game. It now means I have 2-card support and a hand with 10 or 11 points in it, like the old original 2 no trump response did. 2/1 bids are no longer forcing to game, and even 1 no trump is forcing only by partnership agreement. So you can still make a 2/1 response. Say if your partner opens a spade and you have 10 or 11 points in a 5-card heart suit, you can bid 2 hearts. But in general, when you have a minor suit, you would much rather play no trumps than you would play the minor suit. So 2 clubs and 2 diamonds didn't get much use in this particular scenario. So here we are with 2 bids just hanging out there with not much to do. Well, nature abhors a vacuum and all that other stuff. Somebody got clever. Mr. Drury, in fact, got clever and said, hey, let's use these bids to ask partner whether he opened light in the 3rd or 4th seat. So when you have support for your partner and you have at least limit raise values, you bid 2 clubs saying, partner, I have either 3 or 4 cards in support for you over here, and I have limit raise values. Were you light when you opened, or do you actually have a full opener over there? And if I bid 2 clubs, I'm telling you I have 3 card support. And if I bid 2 diamonds, I'm telling you I have 4 card support. That's where the two-way comes in, using clubs and diamonds both. I think most of you know that I have a lot of trouble with that 2 diamond response. I have missed it so many times that if I miss it again, I think partners are going to fire me. It's just, I have a mental block about it, I guess. So for a long time, I just played 2 clubs. You do not have to play two-way drury. You can just play reverse drury and be fine. Your partner won't know whether you have 3 or 4 card support, but he'll know you have support and a limit raise hand. So that's this is a very good convention. If you have a partner who likes to open aggressively in the 3rd seat, when there have been 2 passes, you never know in that situation whether partner actually has an opening hand or whether he's pushing the envelope a little bit. So some examples here that would bid 2 clubs after a 3rd or 4th seat, 1 heart opening. Hand number 1 here has 3 card support in it. It has 10 high card points and it has a singleton. That's a nice hand for partner. If he has an opening hand, you probably have a game here. Hand number 2 has 4 card support. If you're playing two-way drury, you can bid 2 diamonds with this hand. You have 10 high card points and a doubleton and outstanding trump support. Likewise, number 3, you have 10 high card points again and a doubleton, hand worth 11 points, and you've got prime values. You've got 2 of the top 3 honors in your partner's heart suit, and then you have the ace of spades besides. That's a nice hand for partner. And if he's opened light, he'll have a good chance in 2 hearts. And if he has a full opener, well, there's a possibility for gain there. Now, here's another example of some drury bids following a 1 spade opening. This first one has 10 high card points in it and a doubleton. And it has the top 2 trumps. I mean, what partner wouldn't love to see the ace, king, trumps hit the table? And number 2 is even better. 10 high card points and fabulous trump support. And number 3 has only 3 card support, but it has an ace and 2 kings in it. These are also prime values. And look at the spots in that hand. I mean, I would probably add a point to that hand just for those incredible spots. So any of these hands are worth a drury call when your partner has opened in 3rd seat with 1 of a major. Notice I said following 1 of a major suit. Does not apply when clubs or diamonds have been opened. But I seldom open light in the 3rd seat in a minor. If I open a minor in the 3rd seat, I generally have a full opener. I may open a 4 card major suit if it's a really good major suit. because that's the suit that I might want my partner to lead instead of my crappy minor suit. So things kind of change when you're opening in the third seat. The rules change a little bit, and that can make life hard on the partner of the third seat opener. So how does the opener rebid after a Drury call?
Susan, before you go on to that,
Sure.
some chat questions about alerting Drury.
Oh, yes. Well, Drury does not show a natural club or diamond suit, so the bids are definitely alertable. And all you have to say is, this is a good raise of my heart suit or a good raise of my spade suit. It shows limit raise values and support according to the suit that was bid. Anytime a bid is not an offer to play in a suit, it's not natural and should be alerted. And yes, Drury bids are alertable. Thank you.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, here, that's what we were getting to. Here's the first thing on this slide. Because the bids say nothing at all about clubs or diamonds, the opener alerts his partner's Drury bid as a 3 or 4 card limit raise. Now, after 1 major 2 clubs or 1 major 2 diamonds, opener just describes his hand. There is a known fit, so he uses the principle of fast arrival. Well, what's that mean? Well, it means we're going to get where we're going quickly. Opener rebids 2 of his major with a minimum or sub-minimum opening. In other words, if he opened light, or if he opened with only 11 or 12 points even, since you are a passed hand, with the right hand, you might have a game, but I don't know about the rest of you. If I need one specific hand, my partner never has it. So if you have a minimum or sub-minimum opening, the opener just rebids 2 of his major, and that says, not today, partner. I don't think we have a good chance for game at all. This is a signal that unless you, as the person sitting in the first seat, miscounted your hand, in which case you might consider bidding on, this is a signal that you're to pass. The opener knows what you have, and he knows what he has. So he's the captain in this instance. He makes the decision. If the opener has a hand worth 14 points, many of you heard me say invite with 11 and accept with 14. Well, this Drury bid is an invite. It's a hand that's a limit raise or better. So if opener has 14 or he has 13 and a good excuse, like maybe say a 6th trump or even a singleton somewhere, then he might do it with 13, depending on how aggressively he likes to evaluate his hand. So if he bids game, then any other bid is a help suit game try, saying, we're close, partner. I could use help in this suit. If you have help in this suit, please bid the game. The reason that we call it, as I said, the reason we call it reverse Drury is because these meanings were reversed in the original version. And as people thought about it, they said, when we want to just stop in 2 of the major, it makes more sense for the opener just to bid 2 of the major rather than bid something else. So that's the reason it was changed. Here's some examples. We have 3 passes to South, who holds this hand right here. He opens a heart. Could this be light? It could be. He could have 11 high card points with 5 hearts and 4 spades, just like I've shown here. Only this is more than 11. But you could open, and so long as you can make that rule of 15 in the 4th seat, you can go ahead and open, no problem. So South opens a heart, and North says, oh, well, looky here. I have 10 points. That's considered a limit raise. If I'm evaluating the North hand, I'm looking at that and saying, 4-3-3-3, no roughing value. Yuck. I'm tempted to subtract a point and just bid 2 hearts. But I have the ace king of trumps. That's worth a fair amount. Notice I had 2.5 quick tricks. If I didn't have just 10 high card points, I might have wanted to open it. But the problem is I can't make the rule of 20. So I don't particularly want to open in first or second seat with that hand, even though I had 2.5 quick tricks. Remember, we talked about Mr. Culbertson and his idea of quick tricks and openings, and the standard opening hand contains 2.5 quick tricks. But still, I don't open the north hand. South says, I have 11 points. My partner has a limit raise. I just don't think it's there. 2 hearts would show a minimum or sub-minimum opening bid. With 11 high card points and a singleton, I might be tempted, but I think you can see here that these 2 hands together are not necessarily going to have a good play for game. Yes, we have nice hearts, we have decent spades, but I'm in danger of losing 3 clubs and a diamond and a spade. So even 3 hearts might be too high, depending on how the cards lie. But since South has less than an opening hand, he bids accordingly, bids 2 hearts, and that's where the auction ends. Might he make 4? Yeah, he might. If the defense slips a trick, or if the cards lie really favorably, he might. But the odds don't favor it, and I don't like to be in games that have only a 30 or 40% chance. Here's another example. South opens 1 spade in the 4th seat, and West passes, and North bids 2 diamonds, showing a limit raise with 4 card support. And South says, oh, I like it. Look at this. I have 14 high card points, but I'm not quite sure. If my partner has 10, we may not have it. But if he has 11, a hand worth 11 or 12, then we need to be in game. Where might I need help? Well, I wonder if my partner has a club card for me. That would be very helpful. I have nothing to offer in diamonds. So generally when you're using a help suit game try, it has at least 3 cards in it. So if I were going to use a help suit game try here, I'd bid 3 clubs. That is alertable because it's not an offer to play in clubs. It's asking partner for help in the suit. What is help? Help is an ace or a king with a couple of small ones, or it's shortness. Either one. Notice North has ace third. He says, oh, I have help. And he bids 4 spades. Bidding game with a good club fit, in other words. This has excellent prospects. We're going to lose 2 diamonds, may lose the queen of trumps, but that's about it. There's a really good play for game on these 2 hands. Now, what happens if an opponent interferes after your partner opened in the 3rd or 4th seat? The people I know continue to use Drury over a takeout double. That call takes up no bidding space whatsoever. So there's no reason not to, so long as you and your partner have agreed to do that. Other pairs prefer to use a redouble to show 10 or more points, may or may not have support. That's the disadvantage of using the redouble. You don't know whether your partner has support or not. Tends to deny a fit, but you and your partner should talk about it. I personally prefer to confirm the fit as soon as possible. So I would go ahead and use Drury. Virtually everyone else, or with a suit call, for instance, if my partner opens a spade and my left-hand opponent bids 2 diamonds, Now my partner can use 3 diamonds to show a limit raise. I can't specify the number of cards I have, but I can at least show him a limit raise. So it's not, it's not the best way to show support because you can't specify how many you need. But let's face it, we've got opponents these days who bid on air, a lot of them. They bid because they have 13 cards in their hands, basically. So you need to have some kind of agreement in place if you're going to use jury as to what happens when the 3rd seed opener's left-hand opponent makes a call other than pass. Now, I've seen some agreements for using jury in competition, but they can get very complex very quickly. So I am not sure that that's the best thing for people to try to do. It's better usually just to say, if it's a double, jury is on, and if there's interference, we'll use a Q bid to show support. And if we don't have support, if we have enough points, we'll bid another suit. Something like that, bid naturally, in other words, rather than trying to get into a fancy agreement about it. Hey, I've finished on time today. I can't believe it. It's 9:57. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to?
Susan, there's a couple of questions. If we could go back to the page number 9.
Sure.
Joanne is asking, is South using the rule of 20 to open with the 1 spade bid?
Well, he's got 14 high card points.
No, I was thinking the question was on page 8.
Or was that 8?
Yeah, 8. No, South's not in 1st or 2nd seat. When you're not in 1st or 2nd seat, you can open light in 3rd or 4th seat, either one. You have to be careful
Right.
opening a light in the 4th seat because you may be opening the auction for the opponents to steal it from you if you don't have the spade suit. If I'm going to open in the 4th seat, I use the rule of 15, high card points plus the number of spades. In this particular case, this has 5, 8, 11 high card points and 4 spades. That makes it. I would open that hand 1 heart with no problem. But the rule of 20 is generally used only for opening with fewer than 12 high card points in 1st or 2nd seat. And it's based on distribution. It kind of helps you figure out the playing strength of a hand that has long suits in it, and a fair amount of high card strength, but not what would normally be considered enough to open. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's a couple of more questions by Patty.
Okay.
Would you repeat what constitutes help when partner does help suit
Uses
game
the help
try?
suit game try. There are a number of different types of help suit game tries. There are what's called long suit game tries, where you have 3 or 4 cards in the suit, and you have some losers, and you would like some help from partner in that suit. Help would be a high honor. Generally, when I ask for help, I have honor 3rd, and I'm asking for help in eliminating one of those small cards that's with my honor. There are short suit game tries where the person, when opener is bidding a suit, he's saying, I'm short in this suit, partner. If you have no values in this suit, we should have enough for game. But if you have honors in this suit, they're wasted, and we need to stop short of game. It's a little more clear when you use short suit game tries, but short suit game tries are not the norm. And then there are targeted game invitations, which promise honor 3rd. Usually they're very similar to long suit game tries, but the responder is allowed to assess his help in that suit, Plus, take into account any outside aces he has. Or when you use targeted game invitations, you are, when you bid 3 of the agreed upon trump suit, you're asking for help in the trump suit. Normally, when you use help suit game tries, it doesn't apply to the trump suit. But targeted game invitations do, and can say, partner, I'm missing some high trumps here. Can you help me? And then partner accepts when he has 2 trump honors, or if he has 1 trump honor and an outside ace, for instance. 2 ways to cover losers for his partner. So it depends on the style of help suit game tries that you use, which is a matter of partnership agreement. I like targeted game invitations because I can ask about the trump suit. If you don't use help suit game tries, then you're restricted to just a bid of 3 of the agreed upon trump suit to invite your partner to game, and you have no way of assessing the way the hands fit together. Hands that fit well together, like these hands that I showed previously with the clubs suit that worked so well, will often produce a game, but the same hand without help in the club suit in particular, to say the ace is in another suit, may not work out as well. It's yet another way of determining the degree of fit or how well the 2 hands work together when you use help suit game tries. I realize not all of you may be familiar with those. They are handy bids to know, definitely. But don't worry about it if you don't feel like you want to add those yet. That's for later on down the road.
And there was a follow-up question about help suit game try bid. Is it alertable?
Yes. Yes. Let me see. Where did I? Yeah, there. See, I have the exclamation points after. Anytime I put an exclamation point after a bid, it means it's alertable. Help suit game tries. In an open game, most everybody will say, what kind of help suit is that? Because they'll want to know if it was short suit or regular. Some people use 2 no trump as a general game try. So there are all kinds of different things that can be used as help suit game tries. If you're uncertain and it will make a difference to your bid, then ask. If it doesn't make a difference to your next bid, wait till the end of the bidding when partner turns his lead face down and says, any questions, partner? You say, why, yes, I do have a question. Thank you, partner. And then you ask your question. Or if you're on lead, you ask your question before you select your lead.
There's one more question.
Okay.
It says, hang on a second, let me read it. Using Drury, you as responder have 5 cards in club suit. King, queen, 3 smalls, 2 spades, partner open spades, and 6 additional points in the other 2 suits. What do you bid?
2 no trump. Once you agree to play Drury, you give up the natural meaning of the 2 club bid. If I have 5 points in clubs and 6 additional points, that's 11 high card points. I have 2 spades in my hand. That's a perfect 2 no trump call.
I am looking at slide 9, which is where you are right now. So when you bid the 3 clubs, South bids the 3 clubs, that's a help suit game try. So first of all, I'm looking at, it says natural, promising a full opening bid. I don't understand since it's help suit.
I'm sorry. That's not a help suit game try on this particular slide.
Okay.
When partner bids Drury, and you have a full opener, you can either jump right to game directly, which with 14 points and 2 doubletons, I might be inclined to do. I know my partner has limit raise values for me and 4 trumps. I mean, I've got 9 trumps and I have 14 points. My partner has limit raise. We belong in game.
Okay, so then it's not alertable, right?
3 clubs is just a natural bid here. Yes.
Okay, so it's not even a help suit game try.
No, this is not a help suit game try here. I'm sorry. I was thinking about another situation and that was wrong. Thank you for correcting me. This is notice it's a 4-card suit. And North says, well, hey, that's pretty good. My partner has clubs. I have the ace of clubs. We have a 9-card trump fit. I have a hand worth 11 points. My partner says full opener, more than that dead minimum 12. Partner has better than that. And I have a very nice limit raise here. So he bids the game. Yes, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking you can use a help suit game try there. I would use a help suit game try if this were king and 2 small clubs here. 3 clubs might be considered a help suit game try, but you need to agree with your partner whether you're going to use help suit game tries or that the bids are going to be natural, showing a second suit. That would be the key thing here.
Okay, thank you.
And to be honest, in most cases, if I'm south, I'm just going to bid 4 spades. My partner is a passed hand. We don't have a slam.
Susan,
Yes, ma'am.
is the 2 diamond bid there alertable? It has one exclamation.
Yes. If you look down here where the exclamation point is, it explains what it is, and that means that's an alertable call. If this 3 club bid were a help suit game try, that would be alertable as well. I'm just explaining the bids. Here's what I'm doing, actually. I should have thought of a better way to do that than with exclamation points, maybe with stars or something. That's confusing. The universal symbol for an alertable bid is an exclamation point. And that's not what these are here. The only one that's alertable is 2 diamonds. Anybody else have a question?
And the reason the 2 diamonds is alertable because North was a passed hand.
Yes, and you have agreed to play 2-way reverse Drury.
Okay.
If you do not play 2-way reverse Drury, then I would say that 2 diamonds says, hey, I have 10 or 11 points and I don't have 3 spades. This would be a natural 2 diamond bid if you don't play reverse Drury.
Well, guys, if you think this is a little cobwebbish, confusing, Susan did mention that to be patient and learning reversals takes time. And maybe just set this information down, come back and look at it later, or, give yourself patience in learning this.
Yeah, well, and on Drury, typically people will have been playing for 3 or 4 years or so before they think about adding Drury. It is that and the support double are the 2 most forgotten bids in bridge. 2 clubs looks normal when you've opened a major in 3rd seed, and people forget it all the time. Same thing with the support double. They forget to use it, they forget to alert it, blah. But that's just the nature of this game. Some of you may not have any trouble remembering reverse Drury at all. It's kind of an individual thing. It's a handy bid to know, though, when your partner has opened in the 3rd seat. So add it if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
And this would be if they opened in the 3rd or 4th suit?
3rd or 4th seat,
Okay.
yes. In other words, the Drury convention is used by a hand that passed originally.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for watching this video today. Most of these videos come from our free bridge lessons that we present on Zoom every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. If you'd like to join us for those lessons, you can email us at the address shown below and we'll send you the link. If you can't attend the lessons, then feel free to subscribe to our channel and you'll be notified when there is a new one added. Again, thanks for stopping by and we hope to see you soon.